Welcome to Barcelona. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am in Barcelona. We are in Barcelona for a little bit over 1 day. This is my second time here actually, but Nate's first time here, and decided to check this out again. I haven't been here in about 6 years. We're actually leaving for a Virgin Voyages cruise in 2 days from now, so we wanted to come a little bit early and check out Barcelona. If you're only in Barcelona for a short period of time, I hope this video gives you some interesting things, some ideas of what you can do. I'll rewind you guys back to last night when we got in. We had a delicious dinner, and see you back here in a few. Before we get into this video, I just want to say I wish we had more than 1 day in Barcelona. Unfortunately, that's just how our travel schedule worked out before our cruise. When you land in Barcelona, it's super easy to grab a cab. There's a taxi line that goes pretty fast. We went straight to the NH Diagonal Center, which is the hotel we booked for our 2-night stay here. As far as accommodations go, nothing too exciting, but affordable and got the job done. In like a teeny tiny European elevator. Here's our room. It was small, there was nothing super special about it, but it was clean and modern. And like I said, we just needed something affordable to get us through these first 2 nights of our trip. For dinner that night, we walked over to a restaurant that was highly recommended by the front desk staff at the hotel. This restaurant is a delicious spot to visit if you want to try some authentic Spanish Mediterranean cuisine. The interior is so fun. The staff was super friendly and helpful, and I got some really yummy red sangria. I mean, you can't come to Barcelona and not go straight for the sangria, am I right? Hey! For dinner, I got paella because when in Barcelona, definitely a dish to try while you're here because they are very well known for it, and this restaurant did an amazing job. So good! The next morning we woke up bright and early and grabbed breakfast in the hotel, which we paid a little bit extra for per night to have access to this, but it was so well worth it. Just was an amazing spread that fueled us for a full day of exploring in Barcelona. First up on our agenda was Park Güell, which I really recommend taking a cab to. It's a little bit out of the way. Definitely download Cabify while you're in Barcelona. It's sort of like their version of Uber, and it's really easy to get a cab via your cell phone on their app anywhere in the city. As with any attractions in Europe, I always recommend buying your tickets in advance. Get Your Guide has some great options for just getting admission in advance, or if you want to do a guided tour, they have some really affordable options there as well. I'll put the links in the description box if you're interested in checking those out. So we're starting our day in Park Güell. It's already pretty warm out. Got our sunscreen on, wearing some shorts. There's plenty of guys around the park selling water if you forgot to bring some, so make sure to stay hydrated. Especially if you're coming in summer, coming to Park Güell first thing in the morning is a must. That way it's not too hot, it's also not as crowded, and you're also starting at the farthest point away so you can work your way back into town. The park offers stunning views and a beautiful, peaceful sort of retreat from the bustling city of Barcelona below. The park was designed by famed Barcelona architect Antoni Gaudí.
Out of my life.
Don't say that.
To my Tony Braxton.
What you might not know is this actually wasn't intended to be a park in the first place. Gaudí's actual plan was to create a modern housing estate far from the smog and chaos of the city down below. The plot of land was built in 1900 and work began on the creation of 2 buildings there, a guardian's house and a model house that was supposed to attract investors. But the plan was unsuccessful ultimately, and the project had to be abandoned. Work on the project ended in 1914, and in 1926 it officially became a public park.
This is how she sets up the camera, folks.
Hurry.
Serious face.
Mission accomplished. For more of that, follow me on my IG. One of the things I found really cool about the design of Park Güell was how Antoni Gaudí worked the design around nature. Many of the columns are inspired directly by the shape and structure of the trees which surround them. He wanted the designs to reflect the environment in which it was situated and take advantage of the mountain's topography rather than fighting it. Even Gaudí's magnum opus, Sagrada Familia, is designed to imitate the natural world, but we'll get there in a little bit. Throughout the park, you'll also see lots of examples of the mosaic style that Gaudí was world famous for, trincades. This means chopped in Catalan, and it's a technique that involves using small pieces of chopped ceramics cemented together for a really unique effect. Saturday, so it's really busy here. It's hard to not get people in your shot. It is actually insane here today. Good luck getting a picture with that thing without a million people in your picture. All right, maybe if you can help it, don't come on a Saturday. You don't really have a choice because we're only here for one day. But hey, we checked it out. It was really cool. Don't forget to bring a packable water bottle with you. You'll find water fountains like this all over the city where you can easily refill and keep yourself hydrated inexpensively. Candy. Where'd you get this? Amazon?
Yep.
Delicious. Gotta stay hydrated. It's hot out here. Next, we got a cab over to another one of Antoni Gaudi's very famous works, Sagrada Familia. Stop. We're at Sagrada Familia. We bought our tickets in advance. Always buy your tickets in advance. And we're going to go up one of the spires, so I'm really excited about that because I didn't get to do that last time. We're going to get our steps in today. You ready to get your steps in, babe?
Oh no.
Climb a tower?
Another tower.
Nate's like, oh no, why do I go to Europe with this girl? She always makes me climb up towers. The Sagrada Familia is a breathtaking work by Antoni Gaudi. The project was actually begun in 1882 and it's still not done. They say that it should be completed in 2026, but it is truly unlike any church or cathedral you have ever seen. The exterior of Sagrada Familia tells the story of the different phases of Jesus' life, from birth to his suffering to his resurrection. When I first walked into this church, I was astounded at just like the vastness and just how huge it is. And when it's completed, it will be the tallest religious structure in all of Europe. But Gaudi believed nothing man-made should ever be higher than God's work, so when it's completed, it will be 1 meter shorter than the mountain in Barcelona, which is the highest point in the city. We paid a couple euros extra to go up the Nativity Tower. They do make you check your bag in one of these lockers before you go up in the elevator, which is crazy. I didn't realize there would be an elevator. I thought we would have to go upstairs, but the Sagrada Familia does have elevators to get you most of the way up the towers. Going up. Ooh, it's narrow. Another windy staircase in a church in Europe. We're up here. Wow. I have to admit, I was a little bit disappointed by going up these towers. It just wasn't the same type of view or experience that I've gotten going up to the top of other large cathedrals or basilicas in Europe, but it was really cool to see the construction process and get to come up here and take in this city from so high up, and also get to look at the different details of the exterior as you descend through this staircase in the windows. Wow. He wasn't lying when he said it was narrow. He said, don't look down too much and don't go down too fast or you'll get vertigo. And now I realize why they made us check our bags. The elevator only brings people up, so when you go back down, you will have to go down this very windy staircase, so just be careful, take it slow if you need to. It is a really cool staircase. You do get to look at the inside of the church as you descend as well. So how did you feel about going up that tower?
It's a little weird, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely a little weird.
You got a little vertigo?
You get up there and you look to your left and right and it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm that high off the ground. That's cool. It's alright.
It's good to be back on the ground though. There's so much intricate symbolism in all of Gaudi's structures. I'm not an expert on it, but what I do think was really cool is the interior pillars are actually supposed to resemble trees. And when you look up at them, their shapes are constantly appearing like they're changing, like real trees would appear to do. Of course, what I think makes this basilica truly special is all the stained glass and the way the colors just wash into the interior. It's like a painting all over the walls. The colors of the stained glass come in, it's sort of like this beautiful ombre on the ceiling. It's so beautiful.
That side blue, this side was orange.
Yeah, I like this side better. After you check out Sagrada Familia, I also recommend checking out Casa Batllo, which is another work by Antoni Gaudi. This is footage from 2016 because we didn't get to do this on this trip, but I just wanted to include it as an idea because it's so cool. So they give you this audio guide with a visual iPhone looking thing that when you put it over different areas of the house, it will show you on the device what that room or area would have looked like decorated at the time when people lived here. This is just another really awesome example of Antoni Gaudi's work and a really awesome tour to take. You can also get tickets for this on Get Your Guide, linked below. After our visit to Sagrada Familia, we went down to the metro station to get some day passes for the metro. I highly recommend using the metro when you're in Barcelona. It's a really easy and very affordable way to get around the city, and I find that the system is very easy to navigate just using Google Maps. It was right around this time that we started to get very hungry, so we headed to the Mercat de la Boqueria, which is a very famous market in Barcelona that is a must for tourists and locals alike. You'll find so many different stands here selling all kinds of yummy goods, from fresh fruit, meats, the fresh catch of the day, all kinds of sweets. I mean, look at this chocolate. You would never think avocado and coconut go together, but they do. That's tasty. Ooh, saffron.
20 euros.
What I loved most about this market was just how colorful and lively it was. So I'd highly recommend coming here for lunch and coming hungry, because there's so many different things that you can taste and sample. Just go to different stalls and try a little bit of everything if you want. Or you can go to one of the places that has a little bit more of a sit-down situation. We got tapas, seafood, and sangria at that one. We decided to get lunch at Bar Boqueria, but we had to do a little bit of hunting for a spot at the countertop. It was so busy there that day for lunch. They serve over the bar, and they have a great tapas menu with drinks. We got some wine and some sangria, of course, and then ordered up some tapas. Definitely make sure to try the bread with tomato. This is a very typical Catalan dish that is delicious. Since we were so close to La Rambla, which is a very famous shopping area district in Barcelona, we decided to go and check that out. I was on the hunt for a Mango or a Zara because they're just so much better in Europe than they are in the US. This is what I was looking for. Mango. That's cute. Off the main stretch of La Rambla, you can also find these side streets with fantastic shopping along them as well. At this point in the day, we were just kind of wandering around, and we sort of wandered over to this area and found a little spritz bar where they make all these different types of spritzes. Of course, if you've been around this channel, then you know I love me an Aperol spritz, which they also love in Europe. So we ordered up a couple of those to take to go to sort of refresh us, because it was a hot afternoon, and we just needed a little spritz to pick up. We ended up wandering into the Gothic Quarter, which, if you're looking to do some shopping of just more local, more interesting shops and brands, this is where you want to come. You could just get lost in these streets, checking out all the different shops, all the cool little cafes. It's such a really unique area, and all these old medieval narrow streets are just so interesting. There's always something new to discover around every corner. While in the Gothic Quarter, we happened to stumble upon the Picasso Museum and went inside to take a look. It's a really interesting museum that gives you some insight into the formative years of Pablo Picasso and how he developed as an artist. This museum, which opened in 1963, reveals the deep relationship that Picasso had with Barcelona, and it was a relationship that shaped his adolescence and youth and continued until his death. There was so much to take in here. The museum houses 4,251 works that make up their permanent collection. And it's just so interesting to see this very detailed look into the life and the works of Pablo Picasso. After such an action-packed day, we went back to the hotel for a little nap, which, if you're following along with this itinerary on your trip, you may also want to work that in. But we went back to the Gothic Quarter to wander around some more and find some dinner, since we really loved this area so much earlier in the day. And there's just so much fun liveliness to the Gothic Quarter at night. It's definitely something I recommend checking out both during the day and in the evening because you just get a different experience. We stumbled upon this plaza and this little spot that seemed like a lively locals spot. The menu looked good and affordable, so we decided to check it out. And Bastaix ended up being a delicious choice. It's a wine and tapas bar, and the food is so delicious here, and it really just was a cool atmosphere in general. I took it all. Looks really good too.
There's only one way to find it. It's almost like a stick tongue.
Highly recommend this spot. All the food was really good. The service was amazing, and we really enjoyed our dinner here. When we travel, we always like to try to find a cool mixology spot, so we heard about this Paradiso place, which is disguised as like a pastrami restaurant with a speakeasy inside of it. By the time we got done with dinner, though, the line for it was around the block, and it was just basically impossible to get in that night. Honestly, I think if you're there in Barcelona on a Monday or Tuesday, you might have a better shot. So we went to Dr. Stravinsky, which is also a very highly rated cocktail bar. It also had a little bit of a line, but we only waited about 20 minutes outside to get in, which wasn't bad considering that Paradiso seemed like a fool's errand. This is the inside. Their mixology style is very like scientific. They have really interesting different combinations of cocktails, and the way that they mix their ingredients is really, really fascinating to look through their cocktail menu and all their different drinks that they have. The bartenders definitely put on a show, and I highly recommend this spot because it's still a really cool vibe, but you will probably have a better chance of getting in. And we loved the drinks. Mine was the Fatty Paloma, definitely very, very interesting, but I really enjoyed it. And it was a great way to cap off our day in Barcelona. Okay, I'm on a boat. That about wraps up our one day in Barcelona. We are on our cruise ship now, about to set sail for a Mediterranean cruise. We had such a great time in Barcelona. I hope this gave you a great idea of what you can do if you have a very short period of time to explore this amazing city. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already, and definitely subscribe if you want to see more adventures on our Virgin Voyages cruise, which we're leaving for in a couple hours. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye!